Performance management system usually measure both behavior, what employee does, and the result, the outcome of the employee behavior. The definition of a performance does not include the result of an employee behavior, but only the behavior themselves. Performance is about behavior or what employee do, not about what employee produce or outcome of their work. Okay? There are two characteristics that we can label as a performance in the behavior. First is evaluative or evaluation. We can judge as a negative, neutral, or positive. Second is multi-dimensional. This means there are many different kind of behavior that have the capacity to advance or hinder the organization goal. Contribution to the effectiveness or the other in the work unit could be assessed by using a scale, including an anchor demonstrating various levels of competence, because not all behavior are observable or measurable. Performance management system often include measure or result or consequences that we infer are the direct result of employee behavior.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohamad Ashraf bin Mustapah with ID matrix 519103654. Did you guys always wonder how people can perform very well at the highest levels? Did you guys always wonder about that? Like me, I always wonder how they do it actually. So today I want to explain to you guys there was a three factors that was a key that allow people to perform at higher level than the others. The number one is the declarative knowledge, information about facts and things, including information regarding a given task requirement. And number two is procedural knowledge, which is defined a combination of knowing what to do and how to do it, including cognitive physicals, perceptual motors, and interpersonal skills. And last but not least is the last factor of this the factor of determinants of performance was a motivation, which is there was a three types of choices behavior. The first choice was to the expand effort. For example, I will go to the work today. And the second is the choice of level of effort, which is the employee can choose whether to think I will put my best effort today or I will not try very hard. And last but not least is the choice to persist in the expenditure of that level. And like example, I will give up after a little, or I will persist no matter what. So all these three determinants of performance must be present for performance to reach high levels. In other words, the three determinations have a multiplicative relationship, such as that performance equals to declarative knowledge times procedural knowledge and times motivations. So they also have the implication for addressing performance problem. The fact that performance is affected by of these three different factors also has an implicate for addressing performance problem. So in order to address performance properly, manager must find the information that will allow them to understand either the source problem is declarative knowledge, procedural knowledge, motivation, or some combination of these three factors. So if an employee lack motivation but the manager believes the source of the problem is declarative knowledge, and then the manager may send the employee to a company sponsored training program, so he can acquire the knowledge that is presumably lacking. So this would be obviously a waste of time and resources to the individuals, to the managers, and also the organizations. So let's keep going on. So what are the factors that influence the determinations employee that affect their performance also? So the factor influencing determinants of performance was employee itself, how they acquire their previous experience, and also they have abilities that deliver a good service for them. So that was a factor influencing determinants of performance. The point number 2 is HR practices. This was like an example. Some company give opportunity for training than the others. So the training will help develop their skills, and also develop their performance to a better good start. And then last but not least is the work environment in the organization itself. So that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Mohamad Amirul Hakim bin Mohamad Ridzuan. Today I'm going to talk about performance dimensional. Performance is multidimensional, meaning that we need to consider many different types of behavior to understand performance. But the main focus that I want to talk about is task performance and contextual performance. Task performance is defined as produce material or providing services, such as expertise in job-related tasks, and also involve activities that support the technical part and services of a firm or an organizational, such as coordinating and planning. Contextual performance involve those behavior not directly related to job tasks, but having a significant impact on organizational, social, and psychological context. Example like volunteering for additional work, being a good organizational citizen, and so on. Both performance are very much important dimension to take into account in performance management system. Imagine what will happen to an organization in which all employees are outstanding regarding task performance, but do not perform well regarding contextual performance. There are numerous pressing reasons why both task and contextual performance dimensions should be included in performance management system. First, we look at the global competition is rising the level of effort required of employees. Second is related to the issue of global competition is the need to offer outstanding customer service. Third, many organizations are forming employees into teams. Fourth, including both task and contextual performance in the performance management system provide an additional benefit. Employees being rated are more satisfied with the system and believe the system is fair if contextual performance is measured in additional to task performance. Finally, when supervisors evaluate performance, it is difficult for them to ignore the contextual performance dimension, even though the evaluation form they are using may not include any specific question about contextual performance. In short, performance includes both a task and contextual dimension. Both should be considered because both dimensions contribute to organizational success. In case of both task and contextual performance, each behavior should be defined clearly so that employees understand what is expected of them. Organizations that include both task and contextual dimension are likely to be more successful.
Approach to measuring performance. Okay, there are three approaches to measure performance. The first is behavior approach, result approach, and the third is trait approach. Okay, the first approach is the behavior approach. The behavior approach emphasizes what employees do on the job and does not consider employees' trait or the outcomes resulting from their behaviors. Okay, the behavior approach is most appropriate under the following circumstances. Link between behaviors and result is not obvious. Sometimes the relationship between behaviors and desired outcome is not clear. For example, a salesperson may not be able to close a deal because of a downturn in the economy. The second is outcomes occur in the distant future. But desired result will not be seen for months or even years. The measurement of behaviors is beneficial. And third is poor results are due to causes beyond the performance control. When the results of an employee's performance beyond the employee's control, it makes sense to emphasize the measurement of behaviors. Approach is the result approach. The result approach emphasizes the outcomes and results produced by the employees. It does not consider the trait that employees may possess or how employees do the job. This is basically a bottom line approach that is not concerned about employee behaviors and process, but instead focus on what is produced. The result approach is most appropriate under the following circumstances. Workers are skilled in the needed behaviors. An emphasis on result is appropriate when workers have the necessary knowledge and skills to do the work. In such situation, workers know what specific behaviors are needed to achieve desired results, and they are not sufficiently skilled to know what to do to correct and any process-related problems when desired results are not obtained. For example, a football player. A football player wants to be good. What does have to be good? He has to score more goals, and he has to be good at training to impress the boss, the manager, to evaluate the end result of his performance. And second is behaviors and results are obviously related. In some situations, certain results can be obtained only if a worker engaged in a certain specific behaviors. This is the case of jobs involving repetitive tasks such as assembly line work or newspaper delivery. The third is results show consistent improvement over time. When results improve consistently over time, it is indication that workers are aware of the behaviors needed to complete the job successfully. Okay, the third and last approach is the trait approach. The trait approach emphasizes the individual performance and ignores the specific situation, behaviors, and results. If one adopts the trait approach, which evaluates relatively stable strength, this can include abilities such as cognitive abilities or personality abilities. The trait approach is following under these circumstances. Traits are not under the control of individual. In most cases, they are fairly stable over one lifespan. They are not likely to change even if the individual is willing to assert substantial support to do so. The second, the fact that individual possess a certain traits such as intelligence does not mean that this trait will necessarily lead to desired results and behaviors. And third is individuals are embedded in specific situation. If the equipment is faulty and co-workers are uncooperative, even a very intelligent and conscientious employee is not likely to engage in behaviors conducive to supporting the organization's goals.